Hello friends, Byromie here. I'm feeling much better today. We're on the second and concluding part of my video discussing the Onewheel app, particularly pertaining to the public rides and riders shared there. Here we're looking at the United States. There are more than 60,000 posted public rides in the United States. The more you zoom in, the more it breaks them up. And I believe that the vast majority of these rides are nonsense rides, the kind of rides that I discussed in the first part of my video, where people have posted, most likely unawareingly, their rides to and from work and school and to the store. And though some people, as I expected, thought that my first video was a little bit on the side of paranoia, I myself post many things publicly and I don't really care too much. I'm on Facebook, I'm here on YouTube with you, but I know some people will care. And deep down, no matter where you stand on the public posting and privacy and all that stuff, this app, I believe, has a lot of potential to be great. A lot of potential to share rides, to connect with riders, but there's a lot of improvement. We're going to discuss what we as riders can do to post better rides, to clean this app up, and what Onewheel themselves, things that we can share in the comments and that I'll share with you in this video, suggestions to make this better. I'm Byromie. Keep watching, comment, share. Thank you. First off, I need to clarify something really important. You need to go into the app. If you're someone who wants to create public rides, you actually need to make your location available all the time. In my previous video, I mentioned using allow only while using the app to create a more private scenario. But if you're wanting to post public rides, or even just a private ride, you need to, for the duration of that ride, at least allow all the time on the location permissions. Otherwise, the recording of your ride will not record correctly. And depending on your phone and where you're at, you may need to restart your phone to make sure everything's all cleared up and just to ensure that the posting of your ride goes smoothly. And then you can change the permissions back to any setting that you prefer prior to making your ride. Posting a good public ride is a lot like the golden rule. Where would you like to ride if you were a visitor? Here's a visitor who was in my area who went to Horseshoe Bend. A very popular place. $10 for parking though, but this is a great ride. It's a short ride, but it goes to a great destination. Up the street a little ways, we have Ride Graffiti in a Walmart parking lot. Do not share these rides. This is a perfect example of Ride Graffiti. Delete, do not share, do not post these type of rides. Now let's go over here to the Arizona-Utah border. Here's another example of Ride Graffiti. Going across the Arizona-Utah border is, in a sense, carving your name in a proverbial rock graffiti. There's nothing exciting about this ride. It's short, it goes down the highway, which isn't exactly that safe. Ride Graffiti, don't post it, delete it. Make it private. Now, I know this is someone's house, but this is a good example. Look at how many rides all start from the same location. Try to avoid starting multiple rides from the same location. Also, please don't make duplicate rides unless you really think your ride is a whole lot better than what's been posted. In my previous video, I pointed out that you can search rides on the map, which is preferable. But if you find someone in the area who's posted lots of rides, you can search by rider. So if you are searching by my name as a rider, you will see a list of my rides as shown on this screen here. Now this is a ride that I posted a picture from Google Maps, and I pointed out that this section, this corner here on the trail, that's highlighted in red goes extremely close to the edge of the cliff. It's very dangerous, fantastic view, which is why I really like this route that goes around Potato Hill Overlook, and so I've called it Potato Hill Loop. When you're searching rides by rider or looking at your own rides, you will only be able to see the first sentence. You will be limited on what is seen on the description of the ride. Now, if we go to just how it looks on the map itself, it will actually allow you to see more. Okay, so if we go back to the world map here in general view, and we tap on the ride, it is now a much bigger picture, and the description is much longer. So the description that you add into your ride, the most important parts need to be on the first line so that if someone searches it by your name, if you expect them to possibly do so, they will get the most important information right off the bat. And then you can add more information in there and you can make a nice picture, as I've done here, showing a good starting point and showing the dangerous part of the ride to avoid. So yeah, there's one example of a way you can do it. Most times you're just going to put a picture of part of the ride that looks awesome, if you put a picture at all. I made a mistake when I posted this ride. I don't live in St. George, so I can't easily remake this ride, but I think it's a great public posting nonetheless. So I have more description describing on where to start and why my ride suddenly ends at a Starbucks, because I forgot to stop the ride and I went to Starbucks area to charge. And so remember to stop your ride so you don't make this kind of mistake, especially if you're posting a public ride where you cannot easily redo it. Also, please note that if you do post a longer description of the ride, it will cut off the right side of your description a little bit, as shown on my screen here. Not too bad, it's still readable, but it is something that could be fixed. Please, thank you, 谢谢. Now, let's check out my rides here. We're going to go to St. George, Utah, because I don't live there. I'm not going to show my exact location. And we're going to see right there, you see the white line that popped up? That is a bike trail. And one thing that needs to be, I would like to see corrected in the Onewheel app is when these trails show up. They don't show up until you zoom in to a certain distance. Now let's compare this to when they show up on Google Maps. Obviously, you can see in the corner here on the map that Onewheel uses the Google Maps. So I believe that this is something that can be changed easily. I'm not a designer, so I guess I really don't know. But again, I'd like to see these trails pop up sooner. All right, we got the Red Cliffs Mall on both of these in the same location. We got that same trail. On the maps, on Google Maps, it's green, solid green, and on the Onewheel app, it is that solid white. You can see that slight little hairpin turn. We're in the same location. Now, going back to the Google Maps, if we zoom out, that trail remains for a long time, and you start to see other trails. And it's there, it stays, it stays, it stays, it stays. Oh, there it finally disappeared. Finally disappeared right there. That's huge. Now, we don't necessarily need the white trails to stay illuminated that long on the Onewheel app, but it would be nice to be able to look at an entire city and see all of the biking, hiking trails show up, and not just the streets. So that's number one that I would like to see fixed in the Onewheel app, so that I can stay in the Onewheel app and be able to see all of those trails without using the Google Maps. I'd also like to point out that when you're in the Google Maps, when you change to satellite view, it is green, and terrain view, so it changes the color a little bit there. And on the Onewheel app here, if we change the view, it's not quite as noticeable. It doesn't change the color. It remains white. And so the only view that you can really see it well in is in the traditional kind of this black and white view of the map. So if we can change this to green or some other color, that also might be helpful. This is what you see when you create a new profile or if you log back into an existing profile. Welcome back, Byromie. Awesome, you're part of the Onewheel community now. Let's start the competition. Keyword, competition. Here's the leaderboard section of the Onewheel app. We have day streaks of riding and also a total of mileage as well for each model of Onewheel. So we can help fix the ride sharing part of the app by incorporating a similar system of competition, a system of ratings. We can thumbs up rides, and the rides that get the most thumbs up will appear higher in maybe they'll be listed by area for the rides that have the most approvals and the most thumbs up. And when you're searching on the map, those rides can maybe be highlighted or can be searched easier in some fashion in order of those that have the most thumbs up. And this will make combing through the rides that are posted, especially the nonsense and graffiti rides, to be able to find the best rides quickly and easily. That concludes my video and my suggestions. If you have further thoughts to share with other riders and the app developers, please share those comments below and like and subscribe and share this video. If you've already posted other rides, be sure to go back and check them out, edit them, delete them if necessary. Have a righteous day.